No, we couldn't be luckier. I mean, to share this movie with you guys and with the fans, it's something that's years in the making, and we're really proud of it. And I'm proud of this amazing cast we've assembled. And now it's up for the world to see the movie. Getting to see Anthony Mackie embrace the role of Captain America is really special because we got to touch on it in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but not like this. And you combine that with the fact that we got to bring in Harrison Ford into the MCU, a legend in cinema. Some of those days were incredibly special, and I think the movie is really a return to form of the sort of political thrillers that made the Captain America franchise what it is. It's really special. I'm excited. I'm excited for people to see it. You know, Harrison Ford, it's funny, I think when we first decided to ask him to be in the movie, we did not think he would say yes, because it's Harrison Ford. He doesn't need to come to the MCU. But the truth is, he was so game to play and to embrace a role that would both force him to become the U.S. president, but also a Red Hulk, was really fun. Because I think he had more fun than anybody on the set, because it's such a wild thing to become a Hulk. But no, we feel incredibly lucky. I mean, again, I had the same feeling when Angela Bassett agreed to be in the Black Panther franchise, where you don't think these actors and actresses who are larger than life want to play, and they just want to work. They just want to have fun. So we're incredibly lucky. You know, I think we really wanted this to feel like a political thriller. I think political thrillers are in Julius's blood. I think if anybody had seen his film Loose, which is a beautiful film, it's a smaller movie, but the way he gets inside the characters was really interesting for us. The way that he moved the camera we thought was really interesting. So, and I think thematically there were things about Sam Wilson's journey that felt really personal to Julius. And so he seemed like the perfect package. You know, I think our best films are the films where our filmmakers really understand the character journey. And Julius did. And we're incredibly lucky to have him in the MCU. And again, I think the movie speaks for itself, but it's up to the world to decide now. Yeah, I mean, look, we're starting to build, it's no secret, we're starting to build towards Avengers 5, and I think there's never been an Avengers movie where there's not a Captain America at the center of it. So this is about Sam Wilson showing the world how much, showing the world that he is deserving of the mantle, and showing the world why he's both Captain America but not Steve Rogers, right? That's incredibly important. He's not a super soldier. He's a human like you or I, and so the action is different. The way he approaches problem solving is different, and I think he's going to take the skills from this film and figure out how he can be helpful as the Avengers face a new threat. Big action, Captain America and the Falcon in amazing flying sequences, a Hulk doing Hulk stuff, which I think, you know, people are aching for, and great characters and comedy, but really it's a political thriller. I think that tone was our North Star. I think it is where the movie has landed, and I think people are going to be excited to see it.
It feels amazing and surreal, and to be standing with that shield and that Hulk hand, the red Hulk hand behind us. We worked hard, and it's a long journey, but to get to be here now and share it with everybody is so satisfying. It's thrilling, getting to work on every aspect of this, from the previs and the storyboards to working with the stunt teams to doing rehearsals with the actors, the cast. Every single detail matters. But when you add it all up and you get to see it, we were just finishing and QCing the movie recently, and you see all those elements come together, you can't ask for more as a filmmaker. The process is very intense, very disciplined, very rigorous, especially when you're doing stunt work. You want to be safe, but you also want to do things that are surprising and exciting for the audience. This Captain America, Sam Wilson, is somebody who's so skilled in hand-to-hand combat, but he's also somebody who's a little bit more vulnerable. He doesn't have the super serum. So we really tried to design the action in a way where you saw him be inventive and get scrappy, but then he's also a guy who flies. We've got an incredible aerial sequence in this movie, and the way he uses the wings, the vibranium wings, is really amazing and spectacular. So all those elements we really took great care with, and I'm so psyched about how it's come together. You go about being really prepared, because Harrison Ford is an incredible professional, and he comes so prepared. I remember the first day we sat down and his script was all marked up with notes and questions. I had numerous conversations with him, sometimes till 2, 3 in the morning, but he really, really cares, and that sets the tone for everybody. Both him and Anthony were so prepared, and it made sure that me as a director and the rest of the cast were bringing our A game to it. look, this is the first big event movie of 2020-25. It is taking the Captain America franchise in a new direction. It is an opportunity to see a huge-scale Marvel movie that is working with the best of the genre as a paranoid action thriller. So there's a ton to be excited about. And then, of course, there's a Red Hulk. We're introducing a Red Hulk to the world. So there's some really very cool action in this movie with our flying Captain America and also with Falcon. We've never had action sequences with two flying heroes. So the number of things coming from an action standpoint that are new is really exciting, but most importantly is the heart and soul of this movie. It's a movie that's about empathy. It's a movie about seeing the best in each other, and the way that emotional journey resolves itself, I think, is going to be very inspiring for an audience.
It's gorgeous. I didn't realize, like, obviously I just woke up like an hour ago, but then to like be here and then like be thrown into it, it just like, it's kind of how it felt like doing this movie. So it was so much, every single time, around every corner was just a beautiful surprise. And so to be here in Trafalgar Square, right? That's how you say it? Trafalgar Square, to promote and share this movie with the world is a blessing. Well, Joaquin it didn't take much to find him because there are so many similarities between myself and him that he's a charismatic, warm, very ambitious kid that sometimes bites off more than he can chew, and he wants to prove that he's got what it takes to help a team and help and overall just help. It's beautiful. Like, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is magic. It's captured the world and has like allowed us to dream, and I think Captain America: Brave New World grounds that and takes that to the same, like, that same legacy. I think we did an amazing job of like really grounding a beautiful story that's going to get everyone on the edge of their seats. Some of the sequences are insane, and I think it just forwards the thing that Marvel already has been doing so well, and obviously with Anthony Mackie leading the charge as Sam Wilson. It's a very exciting time. It was cool. It was a process because I showed up with a completely different body than I was going to do by the time that I did the film. And so every single week we had to keep reshaping and reshaping for me to even fit in it. And then by the time that we had all the pieces together, the first time I put it on and felt like Joaquin and Falcon was like 10 minutes before shooting. And so it was still getting like colored the right way, and by the time that I showed it to everyone, we're like, all right, great, now let's go shoot this thing. So it was like right down to the wire in a very exciting, collaborative way within all the artists. Yeah, and so much of it for me was like, I want to do every single one of my stunts that I can, and so the mobility of it was something we kept working on, and it was such an amazing team that was like, I was able to do everything I could. Well, I've said this every single day since he jumped on board, which is like, that's my mom's favorite actor. Like, from the jump, we're in a big cinephile family, but there was one person in our household that we all would watch, and that's Harrison Ford. My mom would play Air Force One on repeat. So to be able to work with him and see how he takes in the room and allows everyone to be themselves by cracking jokes, you get to start seeing how someone at that stature, like leading the culture on set along with Sam and Anthony Mackie, it makes a world of a difference. Oh, because it's gonna drive you through the roof. It's just every single beat in the film and scene and interaction is just, it's the tension is like pulling this rubber band, and when it finally snaps, it goes. And so some of the sequences are fantastic, and I'm excited like when people finally see them, just to hear just their excitement. So you guys are gonna love it.
Well, yesterday was kind of gray. I'm glad to see some sunshine today. Well, you know, it's a lot of this is based on previous work to establish the character. But the story is a continuation of Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross's story, and it's really a very interesting emotional story in a context, in a Marvel context. which is adds a little bit of human reality to the situations that we find ourselves. Well, I mean, I was aware of what Bill Hurt had done and how successful he had been, and because the idea of taking over a character that's already been established by another actor is something that never occurred to me. But apparently it's something that happens in the Marvel Universe with some regularity. So I was comfortable with it, and I was really pleased to have the foundation that Bill laid in on the character. Well, certainly Mr. Mackey distinguishes himself in this iteration, and I had a great time working with him. We had a lot of fun making the movie.
Yeah, it's cold. No, it feels great. It's a great experience to take the movie around and have people see it and enjoy it, and just excited for it to come out. In this movie, we find him basically as definitive as Captain America. In the MCU, the universe has kind of been in turmoil. So Sam Wilson is now in a position where he's trying to figure out what kind of Captain America he's going to be, or what Captain America he's going to be. It felt amazing. I mean, it wasn't something I expected or thought would happen. I would say the best part about it was I got to do it with a company and a group of my friends. My costumer on Captain America Winter Soldier was the same costumer on Captain America. So, Randall Bobbitt, who did props on every Marvel movie I've done, he was the prop guy on this movie. So it was fun. We had a lot of fun. I honestly got the best cast I could ask for, and Julius Ona was an amazing director to work with. I think it's the start of the next phase of the MCU. I think if you look at Captain America, the first Avenger, and you look at this movie, they're parallel in the same veins because they're both foundations that the universe will be built upon for that big anticipated moment like Endgame. I'm just excited that my movie is the beginning and the first of that.